Welcome to the Dan Stevens Show. Did you ever have a really good idea in your head? Well, it seemed like it was. It seemed like it was going to be a good idea, but then when you actually do it, it doesn't work out. This is what's happening right now. But I've gone too far. I can't. I don't have any other ideas for today. For today's show, I wanted it to be Christmas themed. Um, I just once I put this on, it just didn't feel right. I'm wearing a Santa suit with some sort of hoop in it around the middle. Um, in my head, it was going to be like I wanted to stand as well because stupid. I was going to do this joke that my back is killing me from the sleigh. But I'm not even going to do Santa Mo. I don't look like him. The baby powder didn't work. So like, and the beard that came with it is just stupid. So, uh, I regret this. I should have just done a regular episode. It smacks of desperation, and quite frankly, I feel like a loser. What? It's embarrassing. Look at the lows that I've gone to try and see. I think what's happened here is, the podcast hasn't been doing too well, so I'm looking for some. It smacks of desperation. This does. But I'm gonna be put. It's gonna be a quick episode. Sorry for the. I'll tell you why as well. I am gonna go through my Google search as well. One of my Google searches was does talcum powder cause respiratory problems? And the answer to that is yes, it can cause coughing, wheezing, and severe distress. I probably should have looked this up after. I put the stuff all over my beard, and then it didn't even work. I have a hangover today. Drank loads of Guinness last night. See, I don't have to do the facade now that I'm Santa because the talcum powder didn't work. So, look, I just have really soft cheeks now instead of a white beard. I actually forgot the milk and cookies as well. I had to go outside onto the road and into my house like this. So nobody saw me, thankfully. But anyway, I also found out that uh, talcum powder can cause cancer too. So I have it all over my beard right now. That's why this is going to be a short episode. I want to get in and get this stuff washed off. It's very dangerous. Apparently, I don't know if there's talc in the stuff I use. Johnson's baby powder. Yeah, I don't know, but super value cookies, very nice and reasonably priced as well. This doesn't matter now. This doesn't matter. I don't even want this. The other jokes I was gonna say was like, I suppose I was gonna do a voice like Santa, and I was gonna say, oh yeah, I was delivering presents last night and I kissed a woman and her kid caught me. Probably be another song out now about me in the new year. What was the other one? This is ridiculous. Uh, yeah, we're gonna keep this one short. Happy Christmas, everybody. Anyway, I have to get this stuff washed off my beard. For the listeners, don't put talcum powder in your face, in your beard. Yeah, so that Google search was yeah, it's dangerous. Baby powder. I don't know if it still has. It can't still have them ingredients in it that are carcinogens. Like, would babies not be getting arse cancer then if they were using talcum powder on their babies and it's carcinogenic? I don't know. I don't think there's much cases of arse cancer amongst babies. But I'll be finishing this up soon. I'll be wrapping this up soon. To wash this baby powder, talcum powder out of my beard that didn't even work to make my beard white. It's a little bit whiter, isn't it? But I wasn't prepared. I should have got some white spray, but then I would have had to pretend to be Santa Claus. I don't know. Anyway, so the other thing I wanted to talk about was something that was on my mind during the week. It just popped into my head. It was the insult. The worst insult that I ever got was also the best insult that I ever got because it was so good that I started laughing. It was on the Gaelic football pitch when this happened. A while ago now, I was a bit skinnier back then. But it was in one of my last games of Gaelic football. And we were playing up in Hazelbury Park. I was playing for Inghambra. We were playing against a team from Tala, I believe. And I was playing around the middle, centre, half back, midfield or somewhere like that. But I was very slow and I was quite overweight. I wasn't fit enough to be playing. Coming towards the end of my career, bad knee. I had a niggling knee injury. And I'm marking this young fella and he is flying. He's on the way up in his Gaelic football career and I was on the way down. So what happened was I caught the ball midfield. He tapped it out of my hands. Ran. I swung a boot at him. Swung a bad old leg at him, you know. And I didn't even trip him. It actually hurt me more than him. And he offloaded the ball. And as he runs back, he taps me on the belly and goes, "You won't catch me too easy, custard guts." I was like, actually, I was like, man, that's good. That's so good. I'm going to use that. Custard guts. Unbelievable. It was just one of those insults that put me right on my back foot. I was like, okay. I don't know. I also had a woman approach me in the local shopping centre recently. Super Value. It's the grocery shop where I got these cookies, actually. And she's staring at me. I mean, with her trolley, and she's staring at me. And I was wearing my green fleece top. I wore it one night doing stand up, and Dane Frisbee told me that I looked like Ireland. Another great insult, but a really fun one, that one. It's not as bad as custard guts. I don't think I could ever call someone that. But anyway, this woman is staring at me, openly staring at me. I said, "Are you alright there? How you doing?" And she's like, "Jesus, you're a huge man." I was like, "Oh, thanks, Merry Christmas." I think. It got me thinking, like, imagine I stopped a woman and said that to her. Imagine I just stared at a woman of large proportions and I was like staring at her. And she's like, "Oh, you're right there." And I'm like, "You're a huge woman." Imagine. Couldn't do that, could you? Wouldn't be right. I wouldn't do it anyway. Some people just don't care anymore as they get older. My mum just turned 64. And I asked her, I was like, "What's changed as you've gotten older?" And she's like, "I just don't care what people think anymore." And obviously this lady in the shop was of the same ilk. And I think look, I should have just done a normal episode, but it just felt wrong. The second I started putting this on, I was like, no. And then the talcum powder didn't work in the beard, and I was like, no, this is going to be so weird. And it is. It's very weird. What can I say? The cookies would have been great if I was actually doing Santa, but I'm not. I don't mind standing up doing this anyway. Kind of, maybe that's something to be learned from this podcast. I don't know, but the main things are don't put talcum powder, baby powder in your beard. Check what the ingredients are. Yeah, and if you're going to insult someone, make sure it's such a good insult that makes you laugh when you get insulted by it. But that was just, there hasn't been many there hasn't been many insults that have been so good that they made me laugh too. I remember one extraordinarily stupid person incident was when I was in France. I went to Paris. My brother and his friends had tickets for the Ireland rugby match in the Rugby World Cup against South Africa. And the match is on in a big, huge screen in a pub. The place is buzzing. And I'm there. I didn't have a ticket for the match. I'm there in the pub, watching the game, drinking pints. And this woman is like, "Oh my God, do you play for Ireland? Do you play for Ireland? Are you Andrew Porter?" Andrew Porter's a... She actually... So straight. I don't even look like him. He has a mullet. That's the only... And he's a big fella. You know. But she was convinced. And I actually said, "Hey, look at the telly, like. Look at the telly." And she turned... And he was on the telly. He was playing for Ireland. Like, how could it have been me? She was watching the game with him playing in it and then asking, was I him? She wasn't even that drunk. Anyway, that's probably a boring story. I don't know. Look, I'm getting out of this talcum powder before I fucking die. Season's greetings and all that. Had a good Christmas day anyway. Oh no, Christmas Eve. Drank a few cans, you know. Good crack at my dad and my brother and sister. Sister's fella, my man. What more can you ask for? I don't know what this is gonna look like after, but anyway. Yeah, bad idea. Very hungover as well. Maybe if I wasn't hungover, I'd be pure Santa right now. I'd be actually doing them. I would have got the right spray and stuff, but I was convinced baby powder would have worked for the beard, but absolutely didn't. And I should have got white spray or something else. You know, maybe I'll try the beard on. Where is it? I'll be back in a sec. Look at it, it's absolutely brutal, like, isn't it? My beard is really... Does it look well? Look, even if I wanted to eat them, look. Yeah. No. Sorry, I'm just trying to drink milk through this shitty beard. Anyway, might as well like, make use of it. Cost, I think, €12 in Tuchels, this suit. So I was delighted to go to Tuchels again. Got a few presents there as well, up in the Blanchardstown Centre. They used to have a Tuchels in Roselawn near where I live. Known for being cheap and shit. And it's definitely lived up to its name with this suit. So, and this beard. So, what else can I say? I'll give you one Google search to finish us off. I'll pluck out another Google search here. So one of the searches was, where is Marion County? Where is Marion County where the Netflix show The Perfect Neighbor takes place? Turns out it's in Florida. The woman was, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but this is a spoiler alert. But it's about a woman who is... She has kids playing outside her house all the time, and her head is wrecked. She gets really angry, ends up shooting one of the parents. Turns into a massive big deal. She's in jail now for life. But I tell you what, I know her anger. I've cars turning outside my house all the time. It would drive you mental. And these are good people. They just... Anyway, I just felt a bit of a kinship with her. Obviously, she shouldn't have shot through the door and shot someone dead. But if the amount of times that I've had... You probably can't take this seriously, can you? I just keep remembering what I'm like. How do I even stand here? I should be sitting down probably. I don't know. Anyway, the amount of times where I've had conflict with people parking outside my house, blaring music. Like, I went up to a fella that was parked on my road, blaring music. I had my windows closed, I could still hear it. I went out to him, marched right up to him. I was like, look, mate, roll your window down. He was a slick enough looking fella as well. So he looked like he could, he'd probably look after himself. And I was like, hey, mate, sorry, would you mind turning down your music there, please? I have a baby there trying to sleep. I don't have any kids. But that's a good one. If you're ever going to tell people to turn the music down outside your house, say you have kids in there. Then if you really want to freak them out, say, they're not even mine. I don't know them. Turn your music down. And he did, in fairness to him. And then he parked in front of my neighbour's gate and blocked 4 cars in. So he probably won in the end. But I can see where them moments of anger come from. Like, there's been a fist fight in my road in 2025. My sister's boyfriend threw a few jabs and took a few as well. Okay, I don't know if it's a placebo effect, but I think this talcum powder is starting to affect my breathing. So it could be the pints as well last night though, and a couple of cigarettes. Please follow on Spotify and rate 5 stars if you can. That would be fantastic. On Apple as well, and if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and like and share. I say it all the time. I don't think anyone really cares, and I don't either. I watch loads of YouTube too, and I don't even subscribe to most of it, so I don't mind. Just do whatever you want. Enjoy. Don't get too stressed. I remember, actually, I'll just leave you with one more thing. I remember when I did a year in Dublin Business School, DBS, Counselling and Psychotherapy. I signed up for a degree course there, but I only did a year. We were finishing up for Christmas in that year, and the brilliant stress response lecturer, there was a module called stress response, and I loved it. It was my favourite by a mile. All about what stress does to your body and how it affects you. How it's the biggest killer out there. And just before the class was over, he said, enjoy Christmas. He said, and I really mean enjoy it. And I was walking, and he kind of left it at that, and I was walking out of the room, and I said, would you mind explaining what you meant there? Why did you drive that home? And he was like, well, if you want to sit down there for a sec, I'll explain it to you. He said, when you're eating and you're really relaxed and there's no cortisol. Now, I'm going to explain this as best I can from what I understood. Cortisol is the stress hormone. When that's not being produced when you're eating, not as much fat, not as much stuff, visceral fat gets built up, because there's some sort of reaction that happens between cortisol and bad food that makes it attached to makes the fat cells get attached and makes you fat, basically. So if you're really relaxed when you're eating, no matter what it's eating, less of the fat attaches to your insides, basically. Something along those lines. So really do enjoy Christmas, even though it's the 26th today. Alright. This has been recorded on Christmas Day. Thank you all for all your support all year. We're going to go strong into next year. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I hope you've been enjoying it. I will do my best to keep improving little by little. And I hope that you'll all come along for the ride with me and we can get some new people on board too. But I really enjoy making this. I hope you enjoy watching and listening to it. I will keep going. And yeah, like I say, I hope you all come along with me. Have a great Christmas, and let's go strong into the new year. See you soon. I hope you can take me seriously saying that with this on, but I do mean it. Alright, good luck. I need to eat less of these now in the new year, and more of that, good for your bones. Probably talcum powder in it. Anyway, goodbye now.